No. We're a chemical mixture that makes chaos. We're a time bomb.
We're a time bomb. Was that Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
That's good.
Avengers.
I thought it sounded familiar. Sammy does some good work.
Yeah, Sammy does.
He does some good work. Thank you, Sammy, for this wonderful
IRP,
intro.
Sammy. IRP, Sammy.
He's not dead.
He's still with us? Oh, okay, sorry. My bad. It's not like I saw him last weekend. I'm sorry.
The past 3 weekends.
I'm pretty sure I saw him on Instagram.
I'm texting him right now. I'm like, Sammy,
check on
you
Sammy.
dead?
Make sure he's alive.
Sir, you ain't dead, are you?
Rest in peace, could be just have a peaceful sleep.
All right, Sorry Up and Wait LA, the podcast.
Woo-woo.
I'm Jorge-Luis, actor, director, billionaire, philanthropist, playboy.
And I am Veronica Roy, the sword-fighting, sangria-drinking, all-around badass babe. What? You're welcome. I support you.
Oh, that's what you're
Thank you,
bringing?
Shakira.
Okay.
Thank you, Shakira.
All right. And I am Landis Aponte, writer, actor, director, and lover and connoisseur of fine brownies.
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 Wow.
I like that.
I
That's
love
good.
brownies.
That's really delicious.
Dustin loves brownies.
Because brownies are amazing.
They're great.
Brownies real. Hello.
Selfie.
Ronnie's taking a selfie.
Hi.
I'm just sending pictures to Sam to be like, hey, you're not dead, right?
Landis said you were dead. What's up? Everyone believes me. Okay,
So what we got going on there?
All right, so
All right. Actually, it is my portion of it. All right, here we go.
I think so.
All right, you guys. So for all of you listening out there, we have a new format that we're checking out. Now that we're doing home shows, we figured we would change some things up. So for starters, we've got 2 new segments called W2E. No, why? Can I not get these letters out? Every time I practice this title.
just curse. Just say it. Just say it. You know you want to say it.
WTF Hollywood with the Ponte.
We gotta mark that.
That's the
to
first
make sure
new
that
segment.
I keep that
Every
for a
time.
drop later.
Every time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, well, I can't speak English.
Can you do the show in that voice? Everything in that voice from now on?
Anyway, the next segment after that is 90 Awkward Seconds with Jorge. Also, before each show begins, I'm starting to compile everyone's questions in order to ask our guest. So you could sort of think of me as like your social media reporter, sort of like Lois Lane, but with awesomer hair. Awesomer hair.
The Daily Planet would never let a black woman be a reporter. Come on. No way.
I mean,
No way.
well, they did have Perry White be Lawrence Fishburne.
Exactly.
And I'm saying, and they have a black
One.
Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl right now.
They have a black
but
Jimmy
Lois
Olsen. They got
Lane-
kicked out
I'm
to another
sorry.
city.
Yeah, I'm definitely behind on this show.
Yeah.
I'm definitely behind on this show.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me finish my little rant section here. It's
Go
not
for
really a
it, go
rant.
for
It's kind of a really pleasantly
Important
sounding
news.
thing. Anyway, yes. So the questions that I am fielding all have to do with like the show business as well as the craft that you would like us to ask our guests. And for instance, if you guys also want a special shout out, all you have to do is leave a review, a comment, or follow us on iTunes. For example, we have a reviewer by the name of Lankar who gave us 4 stars on iTunes saying, "Fun podcast. They're new, so I want to see how they improve and what other guests they get. All in all, fun." Yeah, that's an actual reading with his voice. That is the voice.
That's the voice.
I mean,
That's the voice.
That's
Okay.
Lankar's voice.
That's
Lankar's
Lankar's
voice.
voice. But either way, thank you, Lankar. You're totally sweet.
Thank you,
Now, for more
the
shout
hero
outs,
we
again,
needed.
leave a comment or rate us on iTunes, which is totally available right now. What?
Okay.
I'm doing my what dance.
Okay. So yeah,
It's a lot of jazz
keep
hands.
doing visual acts in a podcast. Why not?
That's why I just said with
Go
jazz
for
hands.
it. Jazz hands. All right. So Jorge,
Yes.
tell us who is our guest today.
Okay, guys, she's beautiful, as you guys can see, right in
Very
front
well
of us.
dressed, very well dressed.
My special guest.
Well, we can see again.
Very well dressed.
Again.
as
Not a
well.
visual medium,
Not a
but
visual
sure.
medium. You'll get to know her even more so in the upcoming season of Netflix's Glow as Yolanda, starting on Friday, June 29th, right?
June 29th.
She is a Nicaraguan firecracker, an award-winning salsa dancer, a Rutgers alumni.
BFA, baby.
You know, but I like to think of her as mi querida amiga, Miss Shakira Barrera, and I have a little something for you. I hope you like it.
I have always known my life to be a life of 2 moms. I pray too damn much. That's why you haven't had a job in 2 years. Growing up with a single mom, I watched her work. Picante. Selling blood, donating sperm, and doing those stupid little clinical trials are not real jobs. Always seeing her effort is really translating for me as a grown adult woman. I just kept thinking, what if I'd lost you too? I want to show her that it was worth it. Everything she did was worth it. So it's
Freak out.
Little orphan Annie, you just made my dick hard. Establish myself as a Latina and as a Nicaraguan so I can go and give back. When word gets out that I hacked the place, security companies will come knocking with job offers.
¿Todo bien?
I'm so happy to be playing Yolanda on season 2 of Love. You're Hornstock, the hornblower. You just made my dick hard. I'm Shakira Barrera, and I'm an actor, a dancer, and a humanitarian.
You had to put the
Twice.
dick in there twice?
Yeah,
Twice.
for sure.
Had to.
Twice.
Oh, that was so
to.
sweet. That's so sweet. I was about to cry.
Aw, I did see
Just
the single
listening,
tear.
yeah.
Single man tear. Just
Wow.
rolling down the street.
But did it really make your dick hard? That's the question.
If I had one, yeah, totally.
The
All
one
right.
on your bag, though, right? That you bring with you everywhere, just in case, so you could be
Where
like,
are you going with this, Veronica?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Explain, elaborate.
if I have to explain it, it's not funny.
This is a new segment
feel-
as we back Veronica into a corner. How the fuck are you going to get out?
No, Landis. I feel like Veronica and Shakira had made some connection outside of the two of
Well,
us.
yes.
Yeah, Shakira came in complimenting, and then we felt some sparks.
We know each other.
We know each other
Oh, go on.
outside of you guys.
Do tell.
physically.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. No, it was a lot of
Really?
tumbling,
Sword fighting.
mats, punching.
Oh, yeah.
She's really good, you
Bum,
guys.
chicka,
We're in the
Wow.
same sword fighting class.
But
That's
she
actually-
is
Bum,
like
chicka,
3
bow, wow.
levels
What?
above me.
Oh, we've seen
Everyone,
the videos.
you know those
So you're a top.
assistants that she is a top. Why would I answer that question? I don't know. You know those people who are the assistants, the teachers like pet assistant,
Yeah, yeah.
who are good at everything? That's her.
Oh,
They use her for every example. There might be 20 people in the
Well,
room. They're
okay.
like,
Well, I
thought I
can
outgrew this
actually
title.
speak truth to that
I
because I
outgrew this.
was Veronica's acting coach, and I do use her as an
Oh,
example.
there you
I did
go.
use her as an example in class many times.
that is why I hate you so much.
But the problem with saying things like this out loud is that it all goes to that big head.
hey,
I'm just saying.
My hair is bigger than my head.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You've seen my hair.
Yeah,
Whoop,
that's
whoop. Afro. Whoop, whoop.
Again, not a visual medium.
not a visual.
Not a visual medium. Not at all.
All right,
That's
so,
true.
all right, so we've had
let's give-
Shakira Barrera in the studio with us. I've known you for what, like a little over a year now, I want to say. According to Facebook, we were
Yeah.
Facebook friends. We've been
dang, it's
Facebook
only
friends
been
for a year.
I feel like I've known you for years.
Yeah.
Plural.
Well,
Yeah.
I honestly, I felt like that the first time I met you and you walked through the studio doors, and I was like, I know that girl. It's like familia. tú
It's so
sabes.
cute.
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
She
we
got-
really are friends.
Yeah. But yeah, man, totally. I'm like to watch your success and things happen.
You helped me. You
It's
helped me with that. You helped me with that.
It's just been a beautiful thing to watch.
Good.
Quite honestly. But
Oh, you're so sweet.
but this story is about you. All right. We want to get to know you. We want to get to know how you got started. What sparked your interest in acting in the first place? Like, what was the thing? What was your call? I always have a theory that artist of any ilk, whether it be a musician, a painter, a writer, or an actor, that we have a calling. We have that moment where we have this calling that says, this is what I got to do.
Right. Well, I started dancing when I was 3 years old. 3.
Wow.
You guys.
Damn.
3. I
Wait,
know.
wait, how many fingers?
1, 2. I think it was 3. Yeah,
Yep, that's three fingers. That's three
Okay,
fingers.
yeah,
Good.
that's
Okay.
So we get
We're all on the
good.
same
We're all good. Again, not a visual medium, but good. Go on.
God, I love how you keep bringing it back.
Just keep
to this.
reminding us that, Landis.
I love it. I love
I
it.
try to be a good producer. That's my job.
It's a good
Sorry.
through line. Through
You'd
line.
be great at stand up. You should really give it
I
a
do
a
stand up.
shot.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I want to see it. Well, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. My mother has no rhythm. at all. She cannot hear the downbeat. She can't clap with you. She will shake everything she got, but she does not hear the downbeat of any song. It is so funny. So I think she wanted to pass that on. She didn't want to pass that on to me and wanted me to have rhythm and to, be a little bit of what she always wanted to be. So I started dancing when I was 3. I did salsa, flamenco, ballet, jazz, tap. So much.
Did you have like a dance studio that was the main one that you
I did.
And that like
I did.
Miss
I'm at
Sally
Elise Academy
or
of
Miss-
Dance Arts.
Okay.
Shout out to Isabella.
Where is that, just for the audience? Where did you grow up?
Jersey City.
Okay, cool.
Jersey City. Well, hers was in West New York.
All right.
But my mom's was from Jersey City. I was born in Jersey City, but I was raised in Englewood, New Jersey. So I'm a Jersey girl.
All right.
Jersey girl.
I'm from Jersey. I'm an East Coast girl.
That's part of the familia part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Man, I love dance. But I've just always been so involved in the arts, and I ended up going to a magnet high school called Bergen County Academy. As you needed to audition, and it was like mini college.
Nice.
Everybody had a major. It was crazy. I mean, we were 14 years old, and you had to be like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Like, this is where you start.
My niece
pressure.
did one of those in New York, and now she's going off. Like she graduated high school and college at the same time,
It's
and now
unbelievable.
she's going off to be a pharmacist to study pharmacy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mine was theater. So I auditioned. I never did, had training in my life before that or even knew what I was doing, but that was the closest I could get to dance. I'm a product of an immigrant parent who didn't know anything about the arts. She just came here and was a seamstress, and that's all that they know. I mean, I'm sure most of your guys' parents
my
are-
father's a
From Puerto
cobbler.
Rico,
My
so
mother's
different story,
a registered nurse.
Right, exactly. So, they only had so much knowledge back then. I think everything is so accessible to us. So, as I was going up, I started to discover theater a little bit more. But I got into the school. I don't know how I got into that magnet school,
What
but
was
I
your
got
audition?
in. God, I think we had to improv in groups of like. God, I don't even remember how many people were in the group. So I remember going with this girl, I'll never forget her name, Nicole Ventura, and we had to do an improv about the moon. And I just remember the first time it was the first time my body got really hot. Like hot and not in like turned on, but hot like with adrenaline.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. They don't care what I say. They're laughing at what I say. Like, this is crazy. I didn't even know if it was right or wrong or what, but I just remember feeling a connection to it. And I got into the high school, and then we had to study plays and stuff. But to be honest with you, I feel like I spark notes half of my whole.
Yeah, we all did.
I think we all did.
You know what I
we
mean?
all did.
Like, I never was interested in reading something visually. I was just so about getting up and like
being performing.
I was that kid
Yeah.
who wanted to learn that way. I didn't to pick up a book. I mean, my mom was a seamstress. She didn't really, she was always hands on. So, yeah, I wasn't given a lot of responsibility as far as like acting stuff. So my professors would be like, Shakira, you could be dance captain. And I'm like, okay. I mean,
Just because,
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll be dance captain.
Sure.
That's fun.
no pressure.
Exactly. So I was never put in a position where I really had to explore what acting was, but I always knew that it made me feel like hot and bothered.
Was there anybody in that time that you would see on TV or film that like really that you saw that was like, I want to do that as well? Like anybody that inspired you?
No, because nobody looked like me. And I'm one of those people, I envy people that have dreams that have such imagination and dreams without actually seeing it. Because like I said, I'm a product of an immigrant mother. So we never spoke about, you can go to Hollywood and do this and this and this and make this much money, and then we're going to get a house on the beach. Like, I need to see stuff. So as I keep going up in my career, I think that's what makes me different. I mean, I envy the people who can be like, I want a house on the water and be that specific, or I want a house on the water and I want to make, this much money. And I feel like I only have those dreams as I go up and understand what's possible. I know that there's stuff out there. I'm just like, I climb slower than everybody else. But it's just a product of being an immigrant kid, and you have to figure it out on your own. My mother wasn't in the industry. I feel like if I had a mom that was in the industry, she would help me. I would have a blueprint, but we don't have a blueprint. So you have to figure it out. Their blueprint was like education.
Right.
You come here, you go to school, you go to college, you pay off your debt, you get a career, you have kids, you do what we couldn't do. But they don't see beyond that.
Yeah.
My parents were military and medicine. And they both had artsy-fartsy sides to them. But I'm the only one who pursued it, like, as a career. And so, like, we didn't know what we were doing. We did glamour shots for headshots, like, when I was, like, 13. Like, looking at some of the pictures
But they supported
now.
you?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. I'm from Puerto Rico, so no, my mom was a dancer, so she how do I put this without, because she actually listens to the podcast now and yelled at me. Actually yelled at me.
Second and third filters now.
Yeah, she heard me say you guys were horrible parents. It's like, it's true, but don't say it in public.
Like you just did?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, but we had discussions before. But she was a professional dancer, flamenco dancer. All the Spaniards dance. She would travel. Like, I grew up.
Oh, my God, I want to meet her.
I grew up I grew up watching her, and because I grew up, you don't see it now, but I got deformed feet. So I can't pull off the dance moves.
That,
you're
like my mom. You're like my mom.
Yeah,
we're the opposite. That's
exactly.
so funny.
So I can keep a beat though, but I just like my something.
Just
like
the rest of him can't keep up.
Yeah, it's like if you ask me to do ballet, it's like no fucking way.
Right.
But she discouraged me because she got pregnant with my older brother and quit, and no one told her, no, you can have a family and pursue this. It's gonna be a little different. So she always said, don't fucking do it. You're gonna be a doctor.
Wow.
You're gonna do this. And I came here with $500 in a credit card because they're like, no, we're not going to help you. We're not going to support you at all whatsoever.
Wow.
So I had a completely different.
My mom
Yeah.
my mom's basically, I mean, she raised my sister and I, you know, financially she had no help, but she worked double shifts and put us through private school. I mean, we grew up in a shit neighborhood, but she put us through Catholic school and she put us through dance class. And
I went to Catholic school also. My mom and grandmother put me through Catholic school.
And but my mom was a singer when she was younger, and she had won a couple of contests. I actually have like poster pictures of her singing.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
And she's won a couple of contests when she back then. But she always said, I didn't know what to do after that. I didn't know how to do it after that. So I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity that I didn't have. So she made sure that, you know, I mean, I started off in a ballet class and a tap class when I was a kid, you know. And I was 7 years old doing a nutcracker, eating cookies in the middle of a scene. You know.
Are there pictures of you in a leotard? I want to see those.
Oh, no, there are pictures out there. I will post them one day.
Yeah, little tiny hornet.
Were you the nutcracker?
Yeah, I'm adorable.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a teenager, I was like, don't show those pictures, Mom. Now I'm like, you know, I'm 40. I'm going,
It's
hey,
cute.
I was adorable.
But you know
Show
what?
those pictures.
Were you
Let's
the
show
rat
those
king?
pictures.
Who
Yeah.
were you? The nutcracker? Who were you?
No, I was just one of the little kids in the beginning of
in the
show,
Christmas party.
In the Christmas party.
Yeah.
And there was one episode. There was one night when I knocked over. This was my come to Jesus moment with performing, where I knocked, and I wrote this in the essay that got me into NYU. But it was I knocked over a tray of cookies. And it was like, it stopped the show for a minute, and I picked up a cookie and ate it, and everybody's like, and they started the show all over again. I was like,
okay.
cool.
Nice.
So I have power in this moment.
That's so funny.
You know, I
Noted.
knocked it over, I picked it up, they laughed at me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Dance puppets.
They laughed
Dance.
at me.
or laughed with me.
I was like, that
Laughed
sounds
at
a little deeper.
But do you see what you said about your mom, like how she stopped kind of because she didn't know where? I feel like that happens or happened or is happening. I don't know what tense to use that happens to me a lot. Just like where I don't, until you keep going up, at least for me, my imagination opens up more and more. My awareness opens up more and more. I allow myself to be influenced. But yeah, I can relate
there's
to
still
her.
so much more to learn.
Yeah,
too,
but also
which is-
there's no. We chose a career where there's no. Like, if I want to be a doctor, there's A, B, C, D steps that I take.
There's no formula.
There's no formula for ours.
Also, when you're a doctor, you have someone, you know, guiding you, reassuring you. You almost have like a mentor, and there is a right and wrong. It's very clear.
Yeah.
I feel like with our career, we are the reassurance, and we constantly have to give ourselves a report card.
Yeah.
You know, trimester, we got to check in
Oh, yeah.
to make sure we're still intact, because it's like a mental game as much as it is a physical game and like a spiritual game. It's so much, you know.
It's a game of endurance
Yeah.
more
It
than
is.
anything. I mean, the best advice that I had ever gotten in Hollywood was don't leave. You
Yeah.
know, and there was many times where I was just, broken, you know, and just like, what the hell am I still doing here? I don't even know if I like this city. You know, I come from New York. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
And I stuck it out, and I'm still here. You know?
Yeah. And silence. But no. And silence. No, there's always a moment where we have silence. But no, true. It's like when I always go back home and my niece, because she sees what I do and she's like, oh, I want to do that too. I'm like, oh, no, you're 13. You're not getting anywhere near here. But I had to sit her down. It's like, look, I'm literally a professional interviewer. That's all I do. That's all I will ever do. Because, and part of my job is basically how do I deal with rejection 90% of the time. 90% of the time. But yeah, our career it's a weird one. Whether you're an actor, writer, director, there is no straight line. And even if you have a mentor, there is no straight shot to what your goal is because there's so many ways you can accomplish that.
Yeah.
Especially now with Netflix, Hulu, YouTube. Who would have thought that all these YouTubers will be? Yeah.
I mean, we can create our own things. Look at this. We're sitting in my living room right now.
We are?
I mean, in the studio.
No more weed. No more weed.
We're sitting in the studio.
Studio.
In the makeshift studio with our own equipment. And we're able to post our own podcast and create our own content.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, hey, you know what? We audition with self-tapes where we get in our own houses, put up a bed sheet sometimes, and shower on the iPhone and use, instead of a tripod, if you don't have a tripod, you use books, and you stack books, and you make it happen.
Yeah.
So,
I've done a self-tape audition in my bathroom with my brown shower curtain.
Go on.
Set up. Oh my gosh. You're 12 years old. You're 12 years old. It was for a commercial for a iPhone charger or something to that effect. Really? The Bum Chicka Bum music? Wow. Doesn't matter how I share a story. That's gonna be my background music. Anyway, did the same thing, stacked up books, did my phone, set the timer, did the audition, and then sent it, and I actually booked that.
wow.
And they actually ended up, the guy that I was Skyping the audition with, because it was like a one, part 2, he was like, so the character we were thinking for you, they decided to give it to somebody else, but I'm writing a character for you.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
what? They're writing me into this?
I just had such a similar experience happen to me at an audition.
Putting it in the shower and then submitting it.
No, I actually sound no. I actually sound into it. No.
Who's 12 now? Who's 12 now?
I love how you keep bringing it around back to Veronica. I went in for Lethal Weapon.
Nice.
And I read the description, and it was like, we get breakdowns and stuff, and it was like, blah, 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 wife of Leo, Slovakian accent desired. So, like, some sort of European.
Slavic.
So, I think Slavic, sorry. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this. There's no way I'm going to have a Russian accent. There's no way. So I looked at it. I didn't want to do a Spanish accent because that's all that they, see of us sometimes is that. And then you speak normal, neutral English, no accent, or you add your accent. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. And I looked at the sides and I'm like, what jumps off the page? What is she, who is this person? And I just read her as a New York, Italian woman.
Nice.
She ended up coming out Puerto Rican from New York, but she had a New York accent. And I went into the room. I remember I was chewing gum, and I sat in the waiting room, and I looked around, and there was all beautiful, beautiful white women, 6 feet tall at least, in sundresses, and I videoed them, sent it to my manager, and I was like, Am I in the wrong room, or is there a different time?
Should I know?
For the other people?
Yeah.
Because this is crazy. And I just remember going into the room, and I'm like, you know what? You prepared it. I feel good about it. Chewed gum throughout the audition. You're apparently not supposed to do that. But I ended up booking the job. They changed the name to Nina Sokolov. It was Nina Sokolov, and they changed it to Nina DeLillo. So they ended up changing the entire ethnicity of the character.
Nice.
Just because I took
a
a risk.
Yeah.
Why not?
So I feel like that whole it doesn't matter how you go about it. Like the whole bathroom thing, like clearly they saw something in you, and you got hired. So
bam.
All right, let's backtrack to you. So we were at we were in high school. You were the dance captain.
Yes.
You were the conservatory.
Many.
Well, wait, a question. How did that affect... pressure-wise, going into a school where they're telling you this is your future and this is your major when you're just a kid?
I mean, I was just going to wherever I could dance.
Okay.
All I wanted to do was dance, that's all I knew. I was like, I can do this. And I didn't really feel pressure because we had so much fun. I mean, we got crazy assignments as theater majors. We were those weird kids. No one talked to us. We were sitting in the hallways, like, no one talked to us. The only reason the upperclassmen talked to me was so I can be a part of their dance routines. Because I killed it. And I was a freshman, and the seniors would come up to me, and all of my classmates were like, oh, my God, Jesse Sanchez just came up to you. Donnie Landano just came up to you. Like, these people just came up to you. That's crazy. What do they want? I'm like, they just want me to perform in their Halloween assembly. I roll. They thought it was like something like
Rudolph.
No big deal.
But they thought it was like, asking me out on a date. And to me, it was like, ugh, they just want me to perform. I just wanted something more, I guess, as
You're
a freshman.
Rudolph
but
the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
They just want me for my talents and
they just want me
abilities.
for my abilities and want to use
No,
me.
that's
Boys
you,
were-
Ronnie.
Yeah.
That's you. That everybody
It's not
wants
about
for
me.
the
It's not
talents
about
and
me. It's about Shakira.
personalities.
So when I was in high school, I ended up like really feeling that I needed to go into a dance career just because of how everything went. So I ended up going to college. When I was in college, I entered this Fanta contest to be like a Juana Fanta. Don't you wanna? Yep.
Yeah.
So I entered this contest where it was a nationwide contest. You had to send a minute audition video. There were thousands of submissions, like thousands. I did it with my friend's little sister. It was so creative. It was cute, but corny. I just remember we needed to sing, dance, and act in 1 minute. So, I mean, how creative can you get? You got 1 minute, And I remember I was in college, and we would follow the contest, and I just kept going further and further. It was narrowed down, and it's like top 50. And I'm like, what, top 50 out of thousands of auditions? There's no way. Top 25. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then I'm like, top 10. I got to go to the Dean of Rutgers at this point. Like, you need to tell the entire Rutgers University to vote for me because this is crazy. Like, this is
awesome.
possible. I ended up making top 3, and they called me and they flew me out to LA, and it was my first like acting audition. I met Chili from TLC, and I was in front of Coca-Cola executives, and it was my first time that I was actually using my voice. I never sang, in high school. I just wouldn't because people really didn't push me. Like I feel like everyone was like, she's so good at that. She's going to excel at that I never explored my voice ever. So I came here. I remember I stayed in a hotel in Santa Monica. It was the first time I was like really looking at palm trees. I'm like, this is beautiful. Where the heck am I? And I flew first class. I was 19 years old.
Shit.
And then I came here and I saw the other 2 girls. One of the girls was Hawaiian. She was part of the top 3. And the other girl I can't remember, but I just remember that Hawaiian girl thinking she is so beautiful. There is no way in hell. Like, if I don't win, she's definitely going to win. I just remember thinking that. And I went in there, I tried my best, I sang, I gave them my personality, flew back, went back to school, and they called me and told me they were coming to my school because I had won and I was the 4th Fantana, and my name would be Lily, and I would be in campaigns, and I was on bottles, soda bottles, I paid for school, and it was just like such an awesome moment for me, and like the school honored that, and I remember I wasn't part of a sorority, but I had friends that were in fraternities, and one of the nights that a couple nights after I had won, all the chasers were Pineapple Fanta. Isn't that amazing? So then we would take shots and they'd be like, chaser with Pineapple Fanta because Shakira won. And she's the 4th one.
She's the 4th one, yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up being like a Fanta girl when I was 19. So it was that was the first time I think I ever realized, wow, this is actually a job.
Yeah.
Like, this is a job. People pay for this type of thing, and this is possible. And my whole life I just thought, I that it wasn't possible because of my situation or consequence. Being an immigrant kid. Being the only person of color, really. I went to Catholic school. It was really difficult growing up and not comparing.
Yeah.
So I always thought I just was never pretty enough. Always. That was always my thing. I'm just not pretty enough. I'm not pretty enough.
I always compared my hair. I was like, damn, white
Was
people
that your
have some
pretty?
nice hair.
Yeah, but that's a version of it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I don't know. It's my experience is a little different because yes, living in Puerto Rico, it's Hollywood. It's like I had a better shot going to the fucking moon, and honest. But we did get a lot of Spaniard television and South American television. So at the very least, I had people that looked like me, and I'm like, okay, this is doable. It's corny as hell because Latin American television is just not fun at all. Again, sorry if you hired me. I'm sorry for saying that.
See, I wish I had Latin American television. My parents didn't even my mother didn't even watch telenovelas at home.
Dang.
You know, my mom used to watch
You don't
Golden
know about
Girls.
Luz Clarita?
No, man.
You
my
don't
mom
know
never,
about Luz
my mother rather watched than.
You don't know.
No, but that's the more I
They
talk
didn't
to
watch
other
that stuff at home.
See, the more I talk to other people, like Hispanics from America, I find that I was lucky in that sense that at least I got to see people and like, okay, that could be a career. I may not be able to do it, but it exists. You guys didn't have that luxury. You probably saw like a ton of white people on CW.
Oh, yeah.
WB.
No.
Sorry,
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
It was
time.
WB.
It was the
I
frog.
I had the frog.
90210.
Yeah, it was
Hello,
yeah,
my
yeah.
baby. Hello,
Yeah.
my darling. Hello, my
Yeah.
ragtime gal.
When I was growing up watching TV, though, like I never really took that into consideration that none of these characters look like me. I would just see like personality match. I'd be like, oh, I could totally do that. It's like, oh yeah, I can totally feel myself doing that.
That's amazing.
I
You
tell
didn't
you-
allow color to get in the way.
I'm also from a multiracial family.
Yeah, so you
white. I
That's
have a white
different.
dad,
Yes.
black mom, Native American on both
That's
sides.
amazing.
Yeah, but
grew up on military
I grew up
bases.
in a family where, like, you know, we were watching West Side Story, and it's like they are not Puerto Rican. That guy is Greek.
Well, one of them.
You
Yeah.
know?
One of the girls were. I can't forget her name.
We had. I mean,
Yeah.
thank God for Rita
Yeah.
Moreno. You know.
Yeah, but no, trust me, that's the bane of my existence every time. Like, if you're Puerto Rican in this industry, have you seen West Side Story? I'm like,
Nah,
yes.
not really.
Yes.
Not yet. Apparently, they're making a new one.
Yeah, that's my biggest. We had this discussion before. It's my biggest regret. One, I'm too old. Two, I can't sing and dance. So I'm
Exactly.
like,
So I'm screwed.
So close. Damn it. So close.
I'll be Maria's dad.
I can act.
but you can't sing. It's like you can't
I can
sing.
sing.
Not like
Ish.
them.
I can snap in the
I have
Be
a
Cool
very
song.
nice voice.
I can play the
Broadway.
castanets.
No, last side note, and we'll get back to you. No, I read there was an article online that I laughed my ass off because it was like, the headline was, are they going to find actual Puerto Ricans to play these parts? I'm like, in New York? Come on.
Oh no.
Come on. Really?
Maybe.
Really?
I don't
Who the
know.
hell wrote this? In New York? You know how many fucking Puerto Ricans New York has? On top of that, how many acting
Oh, well, it's
fucking
the
Puerto
capital
Ricans?
of Puerto Rico. But
Exactly.
will
It's
they
New
hire?
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Will they hire? Especially.
They will, yeah. Well,
I mean, let's hope.
It's Spielberg. He's trying to make it as authentic and
Yeah. As
good as
possible.
possible.
But even if they don't hire, to say that will they find, you're a horrible reporter. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I misheard you. Will
Yeah.
they find?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of. That's
You're a
just
moron.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's a stupid comment.
Back to Shakira.
Shakira.
We go off on tangents from time to time.
I love it.
All right, so where were we?
So you were high school guy.
Fanta
You
girl.
Fanta girl.
Yes.
Rutgers, Fanta Girl.
Yes. So that was just the first time I think I figured out that I could do this and use my voice as a job.
How did your mom react though? How do you remember
She
when you
was
booked it?
Over the moon?
Over the moon.
Now you have your grandmother lives with you
impossibly
guys
over the
too,
moon.
right? Was she
Yes.
here at that point, or
Yes.
what?
So I'm also was raised by a single mom. I wasn't raised with any brothers or sisters, uncles, cousins, nothing. My grandmother took my mother in when I was young. They're best friends, so she's not really my grandma.
It's like you have two moms, essentially.
Yes, I have two moms.
Yeah.
Basically. She was also, just elated. It was such a crazy experience, and that's the first time I actually realized she didn't know how big the dream was either. And I was like, wow, we're more similar than I think. Like we're the same. But yeah, that ended up just changing me and giving me a new sense of confidence. I just was around three models. The three other Fanta girls were models. Wilhelmina, they were signed models. So for me to be next to them, I was like, God, you're trying to tell me that I just need to be happy with myself.
Yeah.
You know, I need to be happy.
Well, I mean, you radiate light.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I
you are
didn't
not.
feel that way.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way, and you can help other people, but you need to help yourself first. Like you have to put the oxygen mask on you before you put it on the child.
Yeah.
So I feel like I wasn't doing that ever, and it took that to, validate it for me. Sometimes you need to. I have a lot of faith and I believe in God, but sometimes you just need to feel it and you need to get the reassurance from the universe and you need to take it in and realize like how much you've worked for the moment and ground yourself. So I think that was the first time I was like, I think I'm going to move to LA and do it,
Right on. So wait, you're a what, sophomore, junior at this point?
I'm a junior.
Okay, so
I'm
you
a
got one more
junior.
year to graduate.
Yes. And then I convinced the dean of my school. She was like, Shakira, no one in the dance program misses more than 8 classes. You can't. You're going to fail. You're going to get a D. You're not going to pass. I'm like, you know what, Dean Coakley? Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you a little
Do
something.
you know who you are
Something.
talking to?
Let me tell you something.
All right, girl.
I work too damn hard, number one, for you to tell me and threaten me that I'm not going to graduate. Number one. Number two, I was like, isn't this what this program is about? Aren't I already working?
Yeah.
And it may not be in the modern dance or classical dance. I may not be a ballerina, dancing for ABT, but this is essentially a part of what you guys are teaching us. And I'm using my dance in this very simple choreography, but I'm using it. And, this is really good for us, for the school, for everyone. I mean, at the time, we didn't know about commercial dance. We only we're trained dancing, like proper foundational classical training. Companies, modern dance companies, that was the aim. So for me to go in a different direction, it really opened up their eyes.
Yeah.
Wow, there is this whole other side. So
But
I
some
was able.
did some see it as a slap in the face at the
They
same time?
did. I remember a lot of the students were like, "That's unfair." And
But she's making a lot of money, paying off her student loans.
yes, and I exactly. And I also feel like I tried to tell as many of them as I could because I just like to share. Like, I love to share, and for all of us to succeed, I feel like that's the only way. So I was always like, guys, do you know that there's a whole nother side to this? Like, there's a whole nother side for the flat-footed people. I'm flat-footed, by the way. I know you guys can't see that, but
my feet
I
are so
am
flat,
so
the
flat.
walls are jealous. I'm just saying.
I say I'm very grounded.
Hashtag dad joke.
She's so nice that she laughed at
She
that. But
did, she did.
She's adorable.
We're friends.
Thank you, Shakira.
Oh, screw you guys.
We're friends.
Hang out
I
with
got
these
you. I
people.
got you. I got you.
Thank you.
If this was a
got you.
visual medium, you should have seen the look that we gave each other after that joke.
The side
hate
eye.
you
Let
so
them play
much.
you like that.
They're just bitter.
Oh no, I enjoyed that. Thank you. Give me more, please. More.
Please, more dad jokes.
I'll give you more dad jokes.
Challenge
Get off my
accepted.
lawn, you freaking kids.
Whippersnappers.
Listen, back in my day,
You had to come up the hill both ways barefoot.
Oh,
you know what? Funny enough, my sister and I are the only two people that can honestly say that we had to go uphill to school in the snow both ways because we had a hill that went both ways and we had to go uphill. So, there.
So you went up and then down a hill.
And then we had to go back up the hill to go back home.
So you went. I know, but not both ways. That's
Yeah.
not both ways.
Both ways.
No, it's like a up and then an up.
Up.
Up both ways.
It's like an up.
It's not like a
both
camel
ways.
hump.
Up and an up. My dad's been telling me this joke since I was like 3. Dad jokes.
Okay, I'm taking it
Dad
back.
jokes.
Dad, daddy,
Yeah.
dad.
I
Papa.
am not your father.
I never said that you were.
No.
Padme,
That's a
where'd
geek
Padme
joke. That's a
go?
nerd joke right there.
Where'd Padme
Landis,
go?
I am not your father.
No.
That's
Oh, okay.
impossible.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, okay.
Okay, cool, I'm
See, I
good.
hit the knot on there.
Because I was going to kill you, so it makes it a lot easier
So
now.
now we could just get along.
Yeah.
No emotional conflict.
No emotional conflict whatsoever.
Back to the lightsabers.
DNA test came back negative.
Okay.
All right.
Back to Shakira.
Back to Shakira.
This is all in editing.
All right, so Dean Coakley, you said to Dean Coakley, "Piss off, you long titty bitch," right? And then what happened?
yeah.
What the hell?
Wow.
Oh,
No, that was my Kevin Hart.
He went on an extreme.
He did.
I went there for it.
Nobody was prepared for that.
Veronica, make a note. We need a shirt. Long titty bitch.
No, writing down the note now.
Sell out in 5 minutes.
Oh my god. Oh my God.
Welcome to my universe.
That took the wind out of me.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, so I convinced her, and I graduated in 4 years, just like everybody else.
Ruby.
Then I moved to LA, January 19th, 2013. I've been here
Nice. Ever since.
a little over 5 years, yeah.
Yes.
That's
Doing
cool.
it.
That's cool.
So you came out here in 2013. What did you think of LA when you first came?
When I first got here,
I mean, Jersey girl moving into LA.
yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. Like, I feel like right away when you get here, and you're just excited to move, I think. If you want to move and you're somebody who wants change, you're always excited at first.
Yeah.
And then it kind of dwindled a little. And then I'm like, where is the culture? I only see, like, our Mexicans, Salvadorian, Guatemalan. But where are my Puerto Ricans? Where are my Dominicans? Where are my Cubans?
What part of town were you living in?
I was living in Culver City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans are in Anaheim. If there's a Disney,
I was
there's
like,
a Puerto Rican.
Don't go to Culver
Is
City.
that right?
Yeah. Oh, if there's a Disney World, well, there's a Puerto Rican.
There's
Right.
a Puerto Rican family.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. Yes.
I miss that. I miss like Washington Heights and La Marina. Like I miss that energy, and I don't miss the cold, but I miss the energy of what
Yeah.
the seasons do to people. I miss that. I feel like here it's very
laissez-faire.
yeah
The whole time.
and the time goes by fast.
Yeah.
Well, you can wake up every day. When you wake up, and every day is like the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's
that's
somewhere between 70 and 90.
But
Yeah.
today I'm wearing a Santa Claus hat, so it's Christmas.
Yay. But there's a reason why this town is so laid back. That's why I was changing the subject to Taylor, but go
not
ahead.
really
Call her
wearing
out
a-
on it.
I have.
I tried.
What?
I tried, Veronica. I tried.
Wait,
He was paying attention. The first time he pays attention. And the whole...
I've been paying attention. I just choose not to normally look at the two of you. Now I'm paying it. Wait, what?
So back to Landis.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
but
indeed.
There's some truth to the myth that that's the reason why West Californians are very laid back. It's like it's always sunny.
Yeah, sunny and 70 every day.
Yeah, there's
I mean, you'll-
no sense of time, so you're not really rushing. It's like when you have winter, you're like, okay, I got 2 months for summer. Let's get
get
everything
through this.
fucking in
Yeah.
this
So
summer because winter comes in and we're
Yeah.
fucked. There's nothing to hear, so we're like, oh,
Well,
well,
it's also
It is
very,
beautiful, though.
Yeah.
It's
also
beautiful.
very easy to tune out from the rest of the world here because
Yeah.
we're all driving around. It's not
Everything
like
is
I
so
mean,
far apart and
everything's so far
solitary.
apart.
Everybody's
Yeah.
in the car by themselves. Yeah, it's
It's
very
not like
different.
on the East
Yeah.
Coast where you're like, you in New York City, you bump into 5 people you know if you stand in this right spot for
Yeah.
like.
Ideally, it would be nice to live bi-coastally. For me,
Yeah.
like I'm like I would love that just to have a little piece of home and then come back here to chill and that's ideal.
Where would you live?
That's the goal.
On the East Coast.
Ah
If you
man,
had to
probably
choose.
Jersey.
Yeah.
I'd probably live in
Yeah,
Jersey.
why
Yeah,
not?
because it's not the rush madness of New York.
It's very green.
It's very
It is the
green.
Garden
I
State.
love my
Yeah.
Jersey people.
Are
yeah,
you a
Jersey gets a
Jersey
bad
Shore
rap.
girl?
Jersey gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times. It gets like
I mean, and Jersey's very large. I feel like it's
Yeah.
a bad rep because of the Jersey Shore.
yeah, well, yeah.
Somebody called me Snooki the other when I
What
had not the
the
other day. I was going to
fuck?
say the other day. This was like
Did you
years
grab
ago.
her weave?
Before this
Take
was
off your
years
hoops.
ago when I had a Jersey plate, and I think I like cut someone off, and he was like, "F you, Snooki," and I was like, "What? We're still using that? Come on,
Really?
we got to do better."
That's still a thing.
Yeah, we got to do better.
Need
But
you to
yeah,
work
we got a
harder.
bad rep because of.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
This is what I say about Jersey. It's not Staten Island.
Okay,
You know.
what are you trying to say
So there
about that?
goes. So there goes our start out.
I'm just saying.
The views of Jorge Payo does not reflect the views of the show.
And no animals were harmed in the shooting of this podcast.
No. See, but that's where my assimilation to LA was a little different because I come from the tropics, where it's the same thing. It's like it's always sunny, and we always have a beach. So I wasn't so shocked when I got here, except for like, oh, your beaches are cold and it's fucking dry.
Oh, the
Where the
oceans
hell
are
is
so
the rain?
cold.
I miss the rain.
Yeah.
Oceans are so
Where's the
cold.
rain?
Thunderstorm.
I do
Yeah.
I miss falling asleep to rain. I remember I would always like open doors and then just like
Wow, yeah.
just let it like
Oh,
lull
guys,
me
we're
to
all
sleep.
nostalgic now.
Aww.
But LA's got its great parts too.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
be
but
it's
honest.
beautiful.
Food.
I was at LA. It's a city that it has this unique thing that you make the city to whatever you want.
Yeah.
So if you want to believe that LA is this dirty, gritty, all we treat everyone bad, you'll get that version.
Yeah.
If you want to make it a nice place where you meet cool people, there's concerts, there's music, then you have that version. So you kind of
You have to seek
mold
it out
it.
a little bit more
Yeah.
Well,
than
you
in
see-
that on
you seek
New
out your
York.
community.
Yeah.
In LA, you seek out the community that
Yeah.
you want to,
Agreed.
associate with. That you want to, in New York, it kind of like it envelops you. New York
Mm-hmm.
sort of envelops you, whereas LA does give you that opportunity to pick and choose
Yeah.
what it is that you want to do.
I
right?
agree.
Yeah. So now you're in LA, okay? You did. I'm guessing you didn't. Well, what kind of studying did you do in Rutgers when it came to studying acting? Did you go back and study acting there, or did you
I
just start
didn't.
studying out here?
I started here.
Okay.
I mean, I had, I went to high school for theater, so I knew a little bit about it, but I just feel like I didn't absorb anything because I didn't know really that it was a tangible job. So I just really focused on the dancing. What was the question?
So
Sorry,
when
I
did
just
you
blanked
really
out.
start buckling down and studying
Yes.
the craft?
Jeez. And I did not smoke, just letting everyone know.
Well-
Just my memory's really
I
bad.
didn't.
Sure.
Memory's really
Okay.
bad. Don't call me out.
Why not? If you say so.
That's what I picks up the pipe.
You guys, I also didn't not smoke.
Don't you dare.
Not smoke.
Don't you
Sure,
dare.
Veronica, why not? I don't know. Maybe.
Up and pitch, up and pitch.
Maybe.
So yes, getting serious.
Yeah, getting serious. So I started when I got here. As soon as I got here, grounded my flat feet down, and did some research. And my manager was one of my very good friends from high school.
Oh, wow.
We are in the same grade, and she is my manager still to this day.
Oh, wow.
She was out here first?
She was out here first. She did not go to college. She came here, interned, figured out the industry a little bit more. And then when I got here, I mean, we constantly talked, and she's like, come out here, let's do it. We can figure it out. We really wanted to work together. We were friends, still are. But our relationship has changed a little. Working
Yeah.
with friends.
Yeah,
is,
it has
it's
to.
very
It's
complicated.
business.
She's a very good friend of mine, however. But yeah, I ended up moving with her, and we did our research. We looked at the best classes at the time. Leslie Kahn was like really affordable, more affordable now. Back then than now.
Well, I
And
don't think she. I don't even know she's
Still work?
Is she still
I
working
saw
right now?
I saw her studio.
I mean,
that
I
there
know
was some movement going on, so
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
because there was
Still,
that big
Yeah.
issue that happened a few months ago.
Yeah, my experience was a little different with her. I was very disappointed at that, but let's not even get into it because it upsets me, that
Yeah.
whole situation.
Well,
but
that situation, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. That's not the first time I've heard it.
yeah, but
I mean,
it
it's been
upsets
said
me, I
right in
think,
front of
because she was one of my first teachers. So to me, I had a little personal, like, it hurt me a little bit, like, wow.
Like a little personal.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
first impression
That's
up in
a dig.
town. It's like, yeah, that's the last thing you want to go. Your first coach being that experience.
It was a sting. And then after her, I did Meisner. I did Meisner. I studied Meisner with Don Bloomfield, who was at the Carolyn Berry Studios. Carolyn Berry passed, but Don had his own, kept his students and opened up his own studio. But I studied Meisner with Don. So I really just started to think of acting like dance. I started out with foundation, and I wanted to know the craft, and I wanted to do it the right way, and I wanted to have a strong base before I started to build and go to these camera classes and, figure out what auditioning was.
You weren't putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, I
which
really
is what
just
so many do.
Yeah, I wanted to respect the craft because I'm an artist, so
Yeah.
I wanted to really understand it and do it justice, because I understood even, years ago that writers take so long to write for us and to write these stories, and it just wouldn't do it justice if I was just guessing how to do it or just, there is you should study it. It's a craft, There's no right or wrong, but you have to, figure out your way and your process and bring those characters to life.
Plus, as a writer, from our point of view, if you're prepared and you bring it, just like acting, we can play. We can go, okay, this person can do this. Okay, now we can go here with this character. Now we can do this with this character. Where if you're limited, then we're like, we're stuck.
Right.
There's not much we can go
Well,
with
I
this.
mean, that's the essence of collaboration.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Brainstorming.
Well,
I always tell my students to read Writer Book,
Yeah.
you know, The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogler is something that's like, I have everybody read that thing, so they actually know how a story is built.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
You
know?
also, like if you're a series regular, the writers' room interviews you. Like you have
you
that's
have
your
character meetings.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have like that's your final. You could get fired if you don't make that meeting go well.
Yeah.
Because the writers need to know your like not just your range, but okay, your personality. Oh, you can do this. Oh, you can dance. We didn't know that.
Because eventually they start writing for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have this idea of a character, and then you come in and you bring the and you fulfill that mold. That mold that they've created, but now they know if they're going to be spending the next 7 seasons with you,
Yeah.
which is their goal, 7 seasons and a movie. You know, they want to make sure that they can write for you and really build you.
Yeah, and
build you
develop
up.
and develop, but also it makes in the writers' room because just short version of a writers' room, we get paid a lot of money to sit down and then probably we have to come up minimum. If it's a comedy, I have to come up with minimum 100 premises and 100 jokes, at minimum, and all those get rejected. All those get rejected. So if we know the person can do something, it makes my job so much easier because like she can put her leg over her head. I had this idea. Let's do this because
Wait,
the most
are you
little
writing
thing.
in Van Nuys?
Yes, I have a 2-year-old.
That got very specific.
I have a 2-year-old. No, that's actually a legitimate example of like we didn't know that. Yeah, so gather around kids around the campfire for
Home music.
Landis. Well, this isn't sexy
Kids-
music though.
Kids
This is
around
not
the
sexy
campfire.
at all.
I don't like the directions it's going.
Okay. This is more West Hollywood music. Okay. So, yeah, turn that off. I can't focus.
He's like, I can't even.
I can't even.
can't
No,
even.
but it's little things that you never know. That once you get to know your actors, it opens up a whole world. And it's a true story where the actress on the show, she never met. She was afraid of saying that she was. She used to be a contortionist. That's not the word.
Contortionist, yeah.
She was afraid of mentioning that because she thought it was going to hurt her because it was like a cop show. I was an intern. It was my first show. But as soon as she opened up and made that, the writers just gave them a ton of ideas that they didn't put in the show, but they were like, oh, we can do this. And
Well,
it went off that way.
I think Shakira is like the perfect example of that because on Glow, from the stories that I've heard, they struck gold with booking this woman. You know, I mean, she can move like a motherfucker. So,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I trained years though, you know?
Yeah.
And you come in and it's just like the right opportunity. I was talking to my mom, she's like my best friend, about whether or not she believed in luck. Do you guys believe in luck?
To an extent, yeah.
What about you, Veronica?
I don't know.
No.
I don't believe
You,
in luck.
Jorge?
I believe that luck is when opportunity meets preparation.
I'll stop reading books.
I mean,
Stop,
look,
stop.
Stop trying to sound smart.
Well, you're talking to
I
a man
am
who has
smart.
live well, love much, and laugh often on his wall as decoration.
That's not right.
Right next to his DVD of the Justice League and
Right.
Suicide Squad.
This is right.
Director's
He
cut.
paid for, which he paid for.
If I paid
Retail-
for it, it was on Amazon
Which he
Prime.
paid for.
Retail
For God's
price.
sakes, I don't have the wall space for all that crap.
But really, what about luck? Why do you?
No, I believe
luck
there's
to
an element.
extent?
No, I believe there's an element that requires luck. It's not. It's unexplainable. It's basically you train because you can train all your life for one thing. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get the right opportunity which will debut or show or whatever your talent. So there is some essence of luck where it just happened and there's no explanation to it. It just happened. It is what it is. And we can see that around the industry every fucking day.
Like what? Like who? I'm interested to know.
Okay, for example, I worked on a show where they were trying to find a lead, and he had to be, I forget the description, but the point is he needed to do close-up magic and be an amazing actor, and they couldn't find an amazing actor that could have done both things. And for some reason, the showrunner goes to Santa Monica. There's a kid doing a show, gets him in, does a read, ends up being really, really good, and he books the show. The pilot went nowhere, but he books it. The odds for that showrunner to walk down Santa Monica while he was walking to find that one kid, that's astronomical. So to me, that's luck for that kid in that sense.
Okay.
But was that kid prepared for that opportunity, though? I mean, I don't believe as
Prob-
much as in
that's the
luck
thing.
as in serendipity.
Well, he was he was prepared to be an
Exactly.
illusionist.
Exactly.
But the fact that he can read lines and be a good actor, I don't
I
remember the
mean,
That could be like
train.
a
Well,
natural.
that's innate ability.
But still, it's not. But still, it's not about the opportunity. Like it's about the shot. The fact that he got that shot, that's the lucky part. That he booked it. It's another thing. That's where your skill and your ability comes in.
You know the Will Smith story, right?
Yeah.
With Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
You know, he was at a party and who was it?
Quincy Jones.
J-Lo's. No,
No.
wasn't it J-Lo's
No.
manager that came up to him?
No,
Benny?
No, it was Q.
Quincy Jones.
Oh,
Oh,
It was,
yeah,
he's the first-
yes,
yeah.
it was Quincy
Quincy
Jones,
Jones,
but he
yeah.
was the first one to come up to him?
Yeah, it was Quincy Jones.
I
came
thought
up
it
to
was
him.
J-Lo's manager who
Yeah, because
introduced
Quincy
him.
Jones saw him. I don't know the whole story, but Quincy Jones made the show around him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
that
it was
part.
like, you know, do you want to audition for this role? And Will Smith was like, sure.
Signed
He was
contract the same day, right?
Yeah. He was like, let's do it now. He
Yeah.
was like, I can't do this next week. He was like, let me prepare for it. He's like, no, well, you could, but
But
we might find somebody else by next week.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it, you do it now. And Will Smith just took the chance.
Yeah.
And he was prepared to take that chance.
Exactly.
But what
but-
you're saying
you
is
know.
that the lucky part.
It's the shot that he was
Right.
given the shot. That the fact that Quincy Jones walked into a room and saw him
I
and
see
said,
what you're
"Let
saying.
me give you this shot." That's the lucky part. Your
Well-
skill and your ability will give you longevity in a career. But still, if I walk outside and I bump into a producer and he just says, "You know what? I was looking for somebody just like you," that's luck. And then I have to come up with my ability and skill to book that role. That's a complete
But
different
you've
thing.
also haven't you put yourself in a position to be in that? Haven't you put things in effect to put yourself in that position?
Well, that's a whole philosophical discussion we can go about, but
Yeah.
but still, it goes down to call it luck, call it God, call it whatever. It's still the odds of the odds of me bumping into somebody that'll lead me to something else. That's luck or whatever label you want to put to it.
I don't
Me
know.
booking
Well,
it, it's
knowing you-
it's ability.
Doesn't make-
Knowing you personally, you put yourself in. All right, so if we're gonna talk about you for a second, knowing you personally,
Me, Landis Aponte.
You Landis Aponte. This is me, Jorge-Luis Bayo. You put yourself in those positions, though. You make those positions happen. That's not you make it so that you're in the right room. I mean, these are the stories that I hear from you on a
Yeah,
regular.
but that's me consciously saying there's this
Yeah.
event going on and I do it. But I'm
Exactly.
saying if I were to just by chance go to 7-Eleven and then he's at 7-Eleven, we go for the same Coke. Hey, are you an actor? That's pure fucking luck.
Oh, well, I don't even know how much. What are you talking about? Edward Furlong right now? I
Yeah,
mean,
but
that's-
those stories
that's stupid luck.
exactly. But those stories do exist.
Yeah.
you know, we see them and we hear that we don't see a lot of them because a lot of people don't know that. We shoot 350 pilots and that's one network. And they pick one maybe. So there's a
Yeah,
lot of people that have
2%
that
of
luck.
them get picked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have that luck, but we never hear from them because they don't get to the next phase of that like success.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's still like I've heard 20 stories of 5 guys and
That's
15
just
girls
winning the
coming into the
lottery.
airport, and then the right agent comes into the airport. Are you an actor? Good, call me this week, and they have a career. So it's that event is pure fucking luck. Me analyzing, there's a networking event and this showrunner that I want to write for is there. I'm fucking going there. That's me planning. That's a different thing.
out
And
of,
disappointed.
out of out of curiosity, what made you think to ask about the question of luck? Like, where was that leading?
Well, I think that. I was just thinking about like faith and tangible. I think we like to believe that we control a lot more than we do. Some people, like to believe that they're in full control, and others, are very spiritual and think that a lot of things are out of their control and they work really hard, but that ultimately, we're out of control. It's more of a philosophical question, but we can go into that, like you said. We could talk about
Yeah,
this.
that's a new
all
podcast.
night.
That's a whole episode.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, let's
it
get
was
back
just
to you.
interesting to hear your point of view. Thank you for sharing.
She turned us on each other. Her plan worked.
She just sat back and watched. Mwahaha, mustache twirl
She drinks her coffee in her white, in her white.
without spilling.
Potty mouth bitch.
Potty mouth.
Sorry, Dad.
So hashtag dad jokes.
So Is Glow like your the biggest role to date yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
For
your
sure.
coming out party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy is I did a couple things. I did some movies that I thought were going to be like the big thing. I did a movie with James Franco. I did another movie with Mario Van Peebles where I shaved a third of my head off. Like, it was crazy. I buzzed my
Your head?
Oh my god, my head. What are we in Westworld? Did I scalp myself?
How are you walking?
I know.
What's
Did he go into
You're
the
a
brain?
I've
host?
been watching way too much Westworld.
Okay.
Is what is
Noted.
going on.
I'm all caught up.
Yeah, but those movies never came out.
They will
Okay,
now.
let's elaborate. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Well,
They will now.
that's another side that a lot of people, and this is an instructional podcast, know that there's the amount of pilots, films, and stuff that no one ever sees. How did you deal with that? Like that, thinking one thing and then getting the realization of the business, like just slap you in the face.
I mean, I think it happens with time. Like at first, I think I don't know about anyone else, but me, I just didn't know how it worked. So I always was so excited. I'm like, I got this. Oh my God, I got a call back. And everything was so exciting, which is beautiful because I felt like almost like a child. Like I'm so excited and it was fun and playful and so many things. And then as time went and rejection started to come in, you start to lose a little bit of expectation, but your hard work still needs to supersede that. So I just take it like, you know what? This is a rejection. You don't think I'm good enough? Okay. Maybe there's a little truth to that. How can I be better? Like, I just look at the facts. If I got a no and I get, one no is okay. If I get 10 no's in a row, there's something going on that I need to look at myself. At least that's how I look at it. I look at it practically, and then I say, what can I change? What do I have control over? And I change it. And I think a lot of what I tell people when they ask me, how do you do it, or they want to get coffee with me, I get coffee with a lot of people and I try and, I tell people I'm not a mentor, but I can, give you a little bit of advice about how I go about things is that I don't think it's just about me studying my acting 1 hour a day, 2 hour a day, 3 hour a day. I don't think it's about that with my success so far. I think it's that I really try and look at every single area of my life. Like, how can I be a better daughter? How can I be a better, dog mom, better friend? How can I take care of my, finances? So if I don't know what to do with $100 in my bank account, I sure as hell am not going to know what to do with 10,000.
Yeah.
So I feel like I take care of many aspects of my life, and that's what prepares me for the opportunity. So when Glow came, I did all that work, like personal development. I went to the gym 5 times a week. I tried something different that I never did because I had so much rejection before Glow. I was in such a low point in my career.
I remember that was around the same time that
we spoke.
Yeah.
And relationship-wise, it was really bad. My grandmother has Alzheimer's, so it's just like my agency dropped me. It was really crazy, and I had 7 months where I always keep going because that's all I've known, and my mom has taught me that. But there's a certain point where I sat myself down and I had an epiphany, and I was like, what are you doing wrong? Like, there's a lot of no's. It's not just one. It's not just two. It's not just three. It's a lot. So I had to sit down and be like, you know what? The universe is trying to give me signs. I can be better. What can I do better? And that's what I did. I analyzed every single area of my life, and I just did better. And I think that's constantly what it takes to get to the next level. There's so many levels. You get to the next level and you're like, oh my God, there's a whole nother level. You got to get to the next level. Oh my God, I'm in a whole nother place. Well, how do I it's constant, work and looking at yourself in different aspects of your life other than your craft. That's what I think. That's what I think success is too. And you'll be happier that way instead of trying to focus so hard on like, how can I be a better writer? How can I do the best story? How can I get this part? It's just, why put all that pressure on yourself, when you could like be much happier and grow.
Yeah. There's plenty of teachers. I mean, Stella Adler, yes, I am the quote guy. I read books. Stella Adler said...
Ooh,
spicy.
I'm
That was
smart.
that came from a deep
You know,
place.
Stella Adler
Why do you
was
look
the
at
one.
you saying
Stella
that?
Adler was the one that said, if you want to be a better actor, be better at your life.
Yeah.
James Dean said, I want to be a great actor is I'm paraphrasing, but being a great actor is hard. Being a great man is even harder. I want to be both before I'm done.
Yeah, and Meisner says it's 20 years of life experience. You know, so I mean, I really am starting to understand that now.
Yeah.
Like I'm only 28, so I think I have so much more to understand. But I mean, I just think that that's the level where I'm at. And I think that's why I'm able to work on Glow with 14 strong-ass women who some of them have been in the business for years, who've studied way more than me. You know, Jackie Toone started acting when she was 9 years old. So I think that's the type of work that it entails, because it's not just being a good actor. You got to be on set with people. You have to be nice. You have to be likable. You have to have good energy. So that's all different types of work that people don't understand is involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I answered like 7 questions.
Probably.
It's like
You
check.
did.
I know,
I guess we're done.
Tell us a little bit, real quick. Tell us a little bit about what you can tell. Well, this won't actually won't air. Spoilers. Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
This is
Spoiler
your
alert.
opportunity
This
to
is
turn
your
off the
opportunity to
podcast
not
right now
listen.
if you don't want to hear
Okay.
spoilers for
Yes.
Glow Season
Spoiler
2
alert.
coming out
Spoiler
Friday,
alert.
June
Spoiler
29th.
alert.
Friday, June 29th. I got that right,
Are you
right?
questioning it or
No, I'm saying your podcast. When does it come out?
Oh, this we'll drop this
Probably-
after.
Yeah, probably. We got one more in June. Probably
first week of
first week of
July? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So if you haven't watched it yet, spoilers, because it's on
Right.
Netflix, so you
Oh,
can binge.
gosh. Yeah. Well, season 1 is out. You
Yep.
guys should watch season 1. It is
It's good.
amazing. Alison Brie and Betty Gilpin, Mark
Love the
Maron,
ending.
you know, Sid, Britt. I mean, we got some heavy hitters on that show. It's amazing. It's only 30 minutes, so
Love the fight
just binge it.
sequences.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course you do.
So good.
You little stunt woman, you.
So good.
Yeah,
Little
it's-
stuff women, yeah.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Tell us about Yolanda. Tell us about
Yeah, so she's a dancer, stripper, lesbian, break dancer. Did I say dancer?
Yeah.
dancer.
Ish.
Yeah.
She's a break dancer mostly.
Oh, break. I thought you said brick. I was like, what is a
breakdancing
break
thing that you
Break
dancer?
thought
dance.
that you were
I
already...
never did break dancing in my life,
Okay.
but I do a backspin.
Nice.
In season 2, I'm so proud of that. It was in a montage, but I nailed it the first time, and they were rolling on the rehearsal. And I'm praying. I'm just looking at Alison Brie. I'm like, I can't do that again. I'm just looking at her. I'm like, he can't. We can't do this. I said, wait, he can't. He got it, right? He got it. He's like, all right, we got it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm not going to be able to do that again. Like, that was that.
Wait, so is this character based on one of the real girls or just a new one?
It's softly influenced by the Glow Girls. So,
Okay.
no, these characters are...
They're all original.
Well, some of them are hardcore. Like they were like I forget the actress name who plays the Samoan.
Brittany Young.
Yeah. So there's some, but yeah, that's watching the show and then watching the Glow documentary. I'm trying to put who's who.
Who's who?
Yeah, no,
Who's
there's
who?
not an exact,
Yeah.
but they're softly influenced by the real gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Did you ever meet any of them?
I did.
they
I
show up
went to a
set?
WWE event. It was like a hazing process for me because I met it was like, I think after the first or second week of wrestling training, and we went out, and they were all so close. They're like sorority sisters, and I'm just walking into this like already established family. So it was a nice little hazing opportunity for me to go, and I sat front row at a WWE match at, I think it's Staples Center, and it was like amazing. It was phenomenal. Yeah. It was really fun.
Method actor.
How was the how did you deal with the training? Did you like it? Was it tough?
Yeah, so like I said, I did a lot of work before getting Glow, but I started training 5 times a week on my own. I would go to the gym. I had a trainer that sent me my workouts, and I did that for a month and worked on myself, like I told you guys, after hearing so much rejection. Then when I ended up booking the role, they told me I was going into wrestling training for a month, and I needed to train 5 times a week. So it was just
that's
like...
when you were studying at Scott's, right? Scott's
I was.
Adidas.
I just had left Scott's. It was like Scott's Adidas studio. I had just left. But I mean, even through the rejection, I was in class.
Yeah.
Like I was pushing for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I cut my hair. I was like it's a new me. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to take control. But the wrestling training was so hard.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
It
like,
is
yeah.
so hard.
Because even
Did
though
you have to jump from the top rope?
Yes, onto, like, basically a bed mat. Like, they won't let us go, you know.
No, you can't get injured.
Did you find that like the fighting that we learned, like in our fight class, did that help at all, or is this a
Super.
completely different like thing?
Super helpful.
Cool.
I walked in there, like, even if I knew the move, I would smile inside, but I just wanted to be humble, keep my head down. I wanted to earn my way in. I didn't want to be like, I know this.
I know
I'm a
what I'm
dancer.
doing. Yeah.
I'm a dancer. No.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
I will go last. I will learn from everyone. I also didn't want to get injured. But our fighting, oh my, yes, the
Super
punches, yes, I mean, had a fall. It's just, but wrestling is so painful.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It is so painful.
Yeah, I know a couple of wrestlers, and that's the one thing. And they're like, "Listen, it's completely fake. We know who's going to win, but this is serious. We get hurt.
Yes.
This hurts.
Wounding.
We get
Yeah.
tired.
Back
This
bumps.
is yeah."
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah, every once in a while there's a mistake, and like, oh no, this 400-pound guy literally landed on your head
Felt
Yeah.
that.
because
Can't
he
breathe.
missed the kick or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
so much, and I mean, before I got on the show, I thought it was a real fight. I didn't know really much about wrestling. Like, I thought they were really going at it. I mean, then when I got there, I'm like, this is just teamwork. This is just teamwork between two people who trust
Yeah.
each other, and it's improv. They just know the vocabulary, and they know the foundation of wrestling. They know the basic moves, and it's like a dance. And when I started to see it that way, it made sense.
So you had that moment, like the character in season 1, where she's like, "It's a soap opera."
Yes.
that moment.
It's a soap opera. Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
get it.
You got it now.
That was Betty.
Yeah.
That's Debbie.
Yeah.
So-
So that was your moment. It's like, oh, he's
Yes.
dancing.
Yes,
Nice.
but inside.
Yeah.
I didn't want to let anyone know that I was like, oh my God.
Question. You said improv. So are the fights not all choreographed?
Our fights are choreographed, but when they get into the
Yeah.
ring, they talk about one or two things, but it is
Yeah.
improv.
Yeah, there's a good documentary
Yes,
on it
girl.
where
Wait,
there's-
on the show or in real
No, no,
life?
no.
In
in
real
real life.
wrestling.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there's like a documentary of the WWE
Yeah.
at the time. Where they're like, yeah, you'll do this, we'll do this, but they feel it out because if the crowd likes one thing, they'll like
Do it over and over.
do this, they'll whisper to each other.
Contact
Yeah,
and-
Sort of like how that the ref is just like, he looks really angry and he's
Yeah.
like hitting it. He's like, good job, baby.
yeah.
I'm so proud
No,
of
like,
you. Da-da-da-da.
like there's times
Yeah.
where the Triple H was saying this one time in a match. I don't watch wrestling. I do watch it.
Yes,
but
yes.
there's one time where you see the referee getting like when they get close to them when they're pinned on the ground, it's them knowing that something bad happened. They're like, "Are you all right? Do we need to stop this?"
Yeah,
And they're
totally.
talking,
They're
and they're
having
like-
a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're telling each other
Yeah.
what's going
Are
down.
you good? Yeah.
But our fights are choreographed.
Okay.
We have a lot of time with them, and they try and pull us for
long is
rehearsals for
training?
some scenes. We train for a month.
Okay.
And then if we have a match coming up, we try and do on that week, we try and get 2 or 3 rehearsals in, like whether it be on set or we go. They built a ring for us, so it's a studio. We filmed the show in a studio in Glendale, so we just go to the wrestling ring and practice with our coaches, who are Shauna, Helena, and Chavo Guerrero, who's an actual wrestler, whose his family is legendary.
Yeah, legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our coach.
That's great.
Yeah, it's like such an honor.
Someone with an actual background.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He's wrestling in El Rey. El Rey has a wrestling show, which actually in season 1, the guy with the long hair, the coach, he's on that show too. He's a wrestler, he's an actual wrestler. The one that
Mark Maron.
Mark Maron was. He in the season 1, he was the guy teaching the girls how to wrestle.
Yes.
I forget his name.
I forget too. I worked with him once this season, but it's in passing. I
Yeah,
forget his
he's a
name too.
legit wrestler.
Yes.
And parkour
We
guy.
have and so is Kia Stevens. That one of the series regulars on our show is a real wrestler. She was in Japan wrestling. I mean, she's world known for wrestling. So she's actually an actress who can actually wrestle, wrestler who can actually act. It's great.
Nice.
It's really nice.
They're
It's
like,
nice.
book her now.
Immediately.
What does she want? We don't care. Do it.
Pay her.
Fair. But so wrapping this up, I always like to ask, what everyone has an ideal role. Like, what would you like to do moving forward? Like your ideal project that
I
you
would
would
love
to do.
to do another Avatar. You know what I mean? Like that's my That's my jam. That's what I want to do.
Wait, which one?
The blue people?
Yeah.
The blue people or the cartoon?
That's The Last Airbender.
Last Airbender. Don't get me started on that.
Avatar:
rant.
The Last Airbender.
It's another rant.
I know that's a whole nother rant, but
Yeah.
which we'll get to in a second. But you want to be all right. So James Cameron, if you're listening,
I want to do that,
Shakira's in.
or some Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Zoe Saldana's acting career, and like
She's in Infinity War.
Another dancer. That
she is, and I love Michelle Rodriguez. Those two were like inspiration for me. So I like doing that stuff because I'm a physical, I can move my body. So I want to do something that incorporates my full being into a role.
Nice.
So that would be like such.
Totally
You should be
ideal.
the female Zorro.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be
I can
cool.
play the castanets. I think I said that before.
I'll direct it.
Yes.
On female
Zorro.
There you go.
Or talk to Kenny. Oh, that's the other thing. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
That we had a teaser trailer drop.
We did.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I saw the picture, but I didn't see the trailer though.
Shaq and I just did a little something together last year, and the teaser trailer came out now. It's called Illegals.
Promote that bitch.
Look for it. It's illegal. Look for it on Illegals TV. Illegals.tv.
Okay.
Yeah, directed by
He said, okay.
Kenneth Castillo.
Kenneth Castillo.
Okay.
Kenneth Castillo.
We know him.
We had him a few episodes ago.
Oh my god.
Love Kenny.
Kenny.
But now I think Veronica might have some quick questions from you from the social media.
I do. So, as you've
Let me
heard
just,
me
As
stumble.
Dad said, from the social media.
Oh, that's intense.
There you
Oh, perfect
Again,
timing.
He said from the social media. I am stalling because her computer locked in, so I
It
got to
did.
talk about
It was perfectly timed. I was like,
play your
we need you to
intro
look at your computer.
There's-
Go to sleep. Play it twice. Love that. Okay, so since we're now starting the new segment of collecting questions from social media, I got 3 to ask you.
Cool.
Okay, so from the first one, I_B_Jason, so I guess IB Jason, it wants to know, what was the last picture you took with on your iPhone?
What? That's crazy. Where's my phone? I gotta get
She's
my
like,
phone.
this is a great question.
Is he a stalker or just a hacker?
Watch it be like a
what
robot.
is your phone number?
It's a robot. What is
That's
his
a very
social security number?
No,
What
that's
was your mother's maiden name?
Do you have loud dogs?
that's a specific question for a phone
the
hacker.
first street that you lived on?
Very sweet. What? Yeah, it was good. I like that.
It's actually a screenshot of an audio video guy. Very boring. But the one before that was me in the outfit that you guys see me in right now because I was styled
Nice.
today, so I'm not taking this off.
Yeah, she's
So I'm not taking this off because
Literally.
I'm going to soak it for all it's worth. I took my eyelashes off, though, because they did my makeup.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Takes time.
I can't,
So this is the outfit you're going to wear to the rest of your days, like when you die.
Absolutely.
Going to be buried in this.
I'll
Or
shower some point
just
in
through
between.
the night.
That's good.
Maybe. I mean,
Well, she said she was never going to take it off, so we're never
for
going to.
tonight.
She's going to be fighting in season 3 wearing this outfit.
People, it's,
styled again.
it's called starch. Spray it, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
good.
Just
Okay,
done.
so thank you, IB Jason. All right, number 2 is from Miranda83. Do you use acting coaches for big auditions? If yes, any recommendations?
Well, Jorge actually was my acting coach. He really opened up my eyes to story and, getting deeper into the character, and was stern yet complimentary, I guess is the word. So I would recommend Jorge.
So he didn't call you names.
He
was
didn't.
very encouraging.
apparently,
It's a
just-
whole
it-
other side
it's,
to you, Jorge.
It's just you and me. Apparently, it's just you and me.
Well, you guys are on a different level now.
High five.
Landis, how
That's a
dare you
compliment.
read that way? It's horrible.
You're breathing too loudly.
Really.
I just said good morning, Jorge. What the fuck?
No, I didn't.
Not-
I just asked
They
if you
make me
wanted
sound like some
coffee.
abusive acting coach.
But
I
for
don't
bigger
throw them.
auditions,
Yes.
I don't. Normally I just work it out on my own because. I think if you're going to coach, you should do it from the very beginning if you're thinking about it, because sometimes they can sway your mind into doing something else and it might not organically come from you. And you want to be as organic and connected to your character as possible. You want to take ownership of that. And as you move on in the rounds, director session, hopefully you're testing. You want to have made those choices so you know that you can play this character for however many seasons there are. So I don't really coach that much anymore.
But you have to come to a point where you trust yourself.
Yeah. I was just going to say that.
I mean,
yeah.
Trust in the work that you do.
I used to coach a lot, and then I stopped, and then I started, and then I stopped.
But
it
always,
also
you
depends
used
on
to
where
tell
you
me
are.
too. You used to tell me too. I remember I would come to him to coach, and he'd be like, "That was fine." Like he would literally be like, "What? Okay,
Why are you
do you
paying
want?"
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
he'd
I'll
be
take the money, but
No, he would. He'd be
Why
like,
did you
"This
waste
is-"
my time?
Or he'd be like, "This is written for you," and it was more of like. He reassured me, Shakira, your choices are fine.
Yeah.
And I think there's a point where you just have to accept it. And that actually helped me throughout this pilot season, was just kind of starting to do things on my own without Jorge. And as you go, you're like, you get more confident. You made those choices. That was your character. You took ownership of that. You imagined that character. And you brought it to life. So it was yours. So I try not to coach as much as I can.
cool.
Unless it's a dialect coach.
Yeah.
And I'm doing an
That's- yeah.
accent.
That's
different.
intense. That's a completely
Right.
different kettle of fish.
Right.
Kettle of fish. As soon as I said it, I went, I haven't used that in years.
Okay, Mom.
All right, and the last one is from Titus the King. What's the perfect pizza?
Cheese. Extra cheese.
Extra cheese.
Extra cheese. Is that boring? I'm so boring.
To me, yeah.
A little. But, I mean, to each his
With
own.
extra cheeses, then I need extra sauce. I can't
So?
just have extra
And then
cheese
extra
without-
toppings. Extra
Yeah,
pepperoni,
extra.
sausage, ham, cheese in
You
the
need those
crust.
mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry. Now
Ranch
I'm
dipping.
hungry.
Now I want to go to New York and get a pizza from
Dr.
Brothers
Dr. Pepper,
Pizza.
cherry Dr. Pepper.
99-cent
Oh,
pizza.
Stop it.
I got that question for you, East Coasters. Still, have you found any good pizza here?
No.
Oh, God.
I mean, look.
No.
There's no.
Yeah.
No.
It's just like,
No. There's a couple
no.
places that you can go, and it's like.
That have the water or dough imported from
Yeah.
the East Coast.
but
I'm
it's
like,
not like. It's not New York pizza. The thing about New York pizza is you could walk into almost any New York pizzeria, fucking hole in the wall.
yeah.
And you
And
get
it's
a good
great.
slice.
It's going to be good.
I
It's gonna be
haven't
a
found
good
good
slide.
pizza. Please let me know if you do.
No,
Still
I'm in
looking.
search of good fried chicken because
What? I got you.
Oh,
Really?
I
Because
got
my
you.
sister lives
I
in
got
North
you.
Carolina.
I
no,
got you.
Okay, everyone says that, and
Nah,
then
I
fried
got
chicken
you.
deal.
Okay,
I
okay.
got
Go.
you.
okay,
Culver City,
all right,
honey kettle fried chicken.
all right,
Oh.
Downtown Culver.
Yes,
Okay.
You
it
need
is.
to have it with their hot sauce.
all right.
You need to go there. I had a Super Bowl party at my house. I hosted. I got the wings. My friend who was a vegetarian, she was like, "You're talking a lot about these wings. I'm gonna have to try them." I'm like, "All right, go try them." Broke her diet. She had like 5 wings. She's like, "These are the best wings. They were so worth it."
Did she regret
Trust
it the
me.
next day? It's like, oh
She
my God.
didn't. She didn't. So that's why I'm saying you
Nice.
need to go there.
Okay,
You need to.
all right,
It's so
all right.
good.
This is not a
I'll-
paid advertisement.
No,
It's really not.
They're
I'll
not
put a
paying us
pin on that
anything.
because I'm spoiled by South Carolina and Georgia that I'm like I
Southern-
can't find this. I
Southern
cannot
cooking.
find this anywhere. Yeah.
You'll get close to it. That honey kettle.
I'm
It's
ready
really
to
good.
go. I'm down for some Korean fried chicken too, man.
We're just talking about what we want now.
Just
at this
for
point.
food, just,
Go
you know.
Fry up some chicken. I'm just saying.
Some tacos.
Welcome
and
to What's
sangria.
Cooking.
What's
With
good?
What's
Jorge Bayo.
cooking?
All right. What else we got? All right.
Groovy.
we
Any
other
got
questions?
we have
A new segment.
Yeah, we have a new segment.
Yep, it's all right. I'm gonna get this
You
right.
want to-
It is time for the WTF Hollywood with the Ponte.
Pero mira este hijo de la gran puta.
My daughter curses
¿Tú te atreves a joder conmigo? Coño, come mierda, ¿cómo te atreves a hacerme eso, hijo de la gran puta? Coño.
I love this.
Now, you were yelling this out loud, right?
I was yelling this out loud, and my daughter now says
Outside.
"coño," and it's the cutest thing ever.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And my ex-wife hates me now. I'm like, 50 custody. You can't take me to court. Fuck you. Anyways, all right. So welcome to What the Fuck
All right, so we're
Hollywood.
gonna put the timer on this
Yep.
one.
All right.
Yep. Give
So-
me a second.
You've got- how many?
3 minutes. You said 3 minutes on the paper. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes.
3 minute rant.
Yeah, 3
Okay.
minute ready?
Wait, nope. Give me ready. And
I'm gonna go to the bathroom on this one.
That's not insulting in any way.
all right, ready and rant.
And what the fuck, Hollywood? All right, so nerds, my fellow nerds, we need to get over this bullshit. So I'm going to rant about the Kelly Marie Tran
She's my friend.
Yeah, she's one of the stars. Okay, good, because it's one of the stars of Star Wars, and she quit Twitter and social media because we are dicks. And here's my rant. We live in a time where we can actually reach out to stars and people that we admire and we like, and they sometimes talk back to us. And you fuckers are ruining it, all right? So we need to get over this bullshit of, if I'm a fanboy and I make a theory and the movie that I theorize about doesn't do it, get over yourself. It's not your movie. It's somebody else's. Either enjoy it or get the fuck out. But it's not just her. We lost they turned Millie Bobby Brown. They turned her into an anti-gay meme.
Wow.
An anti-gay meme. Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, so check it out. So my thing is, it's twofold. One, stop it. But two, that's a minority that does that, and we in the majority who want to keep contacts with people that we admire, we don't speak up, we don't talk, and we don't defend, and that's an issue. See? Did you find it?
No, I just see a lot of pictures of her.
Do it, and that's a problem. So I just need Hollywood to stop it. On a second tangent, which I just saw his speech, can we stop Robert De Niro this week in the what's the theater one? The award show?
Oh, the Tonys?
The Tonys, yeah. He basically came out and said, fuck Trump. And that's all good. But can we please start doing speeches and political speeches without doing the backup? Because you can say fuck Trump. You can say anything in an award show, but at least motivate people to go fucking vote so it makes a difference. Because there's a lot of talk and not a lot of action. And it falls in line with the social media because in this minority group basically ruins it for all of us, and no one comes out to defend it. No one comes out as a corporation. Twitter doesn't come out to block it, and it's becoming a major issue. So, Hollywood, stop making political speeches without making a follow-up speech to tell people to go fucking vote so there's an actual political change. And two, you fucking nerds who are pissing me off, stop being assholes. If the movie's not what you like, get the fuck over it and stop ruining people's lives. Because these people are pretty cool. And as our guest said, it is her friend. So she knows it personally, and that fucking sucks when you open up your Twitter and you're getting death threats and hate for a character that wasn't yours, somebody else wrote, and you just performed. So it's not really your fault. And on that note, Ryan Reynolds, it's not your fault. Green Lantern wasn't your fault. It was a fucking writer and director that did it, so everyone get off his dick also. And that's my rant.
And 2, 1.
Language from the offset. This program contains strong language from the offset.
Yeah.
I feel like
probably should have played that
beforehand. Yeah. I was like, that's a little late.
Well, you can edit this stuff, but I'm kind of glad I haven't been on stage doing stand up and under a timer for a long time. So my
I was gonna say, did you time yourself? Because you were down to 3 seconds.
After you do stand up for a while, you get to know when the 5 minutes or 3 minutes are up. And I thought I lost that ability because it's been 2 years since I've been on stage. And I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. Okay, I kind of still have it. All right, cool.
Groovy.
Anyways, props to me.
Yay, Landis.
All right, so that is the completion of our new first segment. Woo! Now,
And then we're just going to wrap it up with one last thing.
yeah, segment number 2. Do we want to do segment number 2?
What's segment number 2?
It is going to be 90 awkward seconds with Jorge. It's a very whimsical sound effect happening here. There's like the older guy walking down the stairs.
Shaq,
False sense of security.
here's what we're going to do.
What?
Okay?
I'm involved? Okay.
You're involved.
I'm involved.
This is
Just
your
for
game.
you.
I'm going to ask you these rapid fire questions.
We're all staring at
Some
you.
are true or false.
Okay.
Some are just answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
I'm setting 90 seconds, correct?
Well, I got the timer right here.
Oh,
on
groovy.
this
Nah, you don't need me.
Yeah.
It's a pressure clock.
Gonna stand here
Pressure
and
clock,
stare
right?
at Shakira.
I feel like I'm on
Technically
film.
I'm just gonna
So-
stare at you the whole time,
You got
Shakira.
90 seconds on the clock, Shaq.
Okay.
And true or false? Despite 8 nominations, director Martin Scorsese has never won an Oscar.
True.
False. After losing out 5 times, director Martin Scorsese was awarded his first Oscar on Sunday for The Departed. True or false? The actor who played the father on Family Matters also voiced Shredder in the 80s, 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
True.
False. James Avery, Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Wow.
True or false? Camels have 3 sets of eyelids.
False.
That's true.
That's a first.
Damn.
Yeah.
What is the most expensive thing you've ever stolen?
Skip.
Fake nails. Fake nails. Fake nails from CVS.
True or false? A Night in Paris was the highest grossing sex tape of all time.
Wow. Is that Kim Kardashian?
That's Paris Hilton.
Yeah, true.
It is true, and Paris didn't make a dime
Wow,
off of
I'm
it.
sad that I knew that and
Yeah.
not the other ones.
True or false? Shakira and Barrera once killed a man in Reno just to watch him die.
Wow, false.
I did have that as a question mark. I wasn't sure. How do you show love to others?
Support. Quality time.
What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence?
Time is up.
There's so many.
You can answer that last one if you want.
What bothers me, man? You know? Like, what bothers me?
It's okay. We'll wait. Go ahead.
Sun visors in the car. Those are
Take away that?
Yeah, take that away.
Wow.
How can you drive that? Especially in
How
this
can I
city.
drive? Sunglasses. Just get it. Just out of my view. Just I don't
Get out
know.
of-
Make
get
them
out of
better.
You do know you
But
can
where do
just
you keep your,
remove
like,
those.
you know-
Just unscrew them. You can just unscrew it.
No, make them illegal.
No, ban them.
Everyone, no one can have
No one
Ban
can
them.
have
We're
them.
gonna have a bonfire.
Away with all sun visors, I have declared.
I do have a question though for this 90. All right, one of your questions wasn't awkward. How do you show love to people? Like that
Depends on the person. Like, that could be awkward.
I mean, that kind of seems like a very like heart to heart type of question. Like, how do you show that you care about somebody?
You know, I'm just glad that he actually got questions. So that's it. So
He was prepared.
He was
He was
prepared.
prepped.
I don't. That's,
No, I was just thinking that the second time around. I was like, that's a good question. Well, it doesn't fall into the awkward category, but good question.
This is
It's like
something I want
I
to
think
know.
you're overthinking it, but okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
calling it awkward.
we lost that audio with that high pitch.
Just gonna-
Beaker made a guest appearance here.
Speaker.
Anyway, I have no idea.
All right, so
But
wait a minute.
we
before
do
you-
have some social media stuff.
Okay, go for it.
Yep, rocking. All right, so as we are wrapping this up, I want to make sure that you guys are helping us out to grow. As you can see, we're having a lot of fun here. We want to make sure that everybody is getting a chance to like be a part of this and to just help us move forward. So you can help us by going onto iTunes, leaving a comment, as well as Instagram and Twitter. Like, share, follow. All of our handles are at Hurry LA Podcast. So Instagram at Hurry LA Podcast, Twitter at Hurry LA Podcast,
Facebook?
at Hurry LA Podcast. Believe it or
iTunes?
not.
Wait, what about Shaq though? What about her? What about your social media? Where can people find you?
Mine on Instagram is Shakira Barrera, Shakira, like the singer. Last name Barrera, and my Twitter is at Shakira X3, the number 3.
And funny
And
enough,
so help
Shakira's
me.
hips also don't lie.
And so help me God.
See what I did there? See what I
Okay,
did?
file. Anyway, and
So bad I'm laughing.
You're a terrible human being.
Hashtag dad jokes.
Yeah. Hashtag you're.
You got away with it because you're a girl. If any
Yeah.
if any of the advice would have got it, she would have called.
That was
And she loves you.
You need to
It
be
helps.
locked away
It
somewhere.
helps.
Really. But anyway, what were we saying? Okay,
Wrapping it up.
wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up. Say goodbye.
right.
Sign us out, Jorge.
Goodbye, Hollywood.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy sangrias
And tacos.
and cheeseburgers
Tacos.
and pizza with cheese in the crust.
Oh, I could use tacos and sangria right
and fried
now.
chicken at Honey Kettle
I could
in
totally
downtown
use-
Culver City.
What's your iTunes handle?
It should be at Hurry LA Podcast.
What?
Right.
The iTunes should be Hurry Up LA podcast because
Hurry up,
it's
LA.
iTunes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work the same as the others.
No, just put Hurry Up and wait a minute.
Learn something new every day.
And fade out.
Oh